कि कमेंट से सेक्शन दिखाई नहीं रहा है।
नहीं होगा तो वो तो इनेबल हो जाएगा, अभी कर लो।
हाँ, उसको इनेबल कर दो।
है तो ऑप्शन
है। बहुत डिले जा रहा है।
है।
10-15 सेकंड डिले।
लाइव करो, इसमें तो सही दिखा रहा है, साथ में साथ जा रहा है।
नहीं नहीं, मैम क्यों सुनो।
उसमें ना एक लाइव का ऑप्शन होता है, वो ना पीछे देख रहे हैं।
एक बार देख कर दो।
मैं देख लेता हूँ।
कितना सेकंड जा रहा है?
मैं साथ में साथ जा रहा है, साथ में साथ जा रहा है। हाँ मैम, एक मिनट पहले मैं अपने फ़ोन में चेक कर लेता हूँ क्यों नहीं आ रहा। और क्या नाम है, हाँ आ रहे हैं सर।
A very good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for coming here on a Wednesday evening. So with great excitement and eagerness, we wish to introduce you to our speaker today. Our speaker today is Mr. Lobsang Phunsuk, also known as Genla, the founder and director of Hamse Gatsal Children's Community, fondly known as the Garden of Love and Compassion. Genla was born in 1971 in Tawang, Arunachal Pradesh. He is a former Buddhist monk whose work is focused on transformative education, sustainable development, and social entrepreneurship. The story of Genla's life and work is showcased in Emmy and other prestigious international award-winning documentaries, like Tashi and the Monk. Between 2014 and 16, the documentary Tashi and the Monk won over 26 international awards. He has received several prestigious awards, including the Spirit of Humanity Awards from the AmeriCares Foundation and the State Gold Medal from the Government of Arunachal Pradesh. Without further ado, let me invite Genla to share his life journey with us. May we have a big round of applause for Genla. Thank you, sir.
So it's my turn now? Oof. Thank you so much. It is truly an honor to be here with you all and share some of my stories with you. I wasn't really sure about what I'm going to say to the entire medical team of HCL, because this is not something I know anything about, but I feel a great honor to be here. And I think the procedure would be, maybe I'll talk for maybe as much as I can, and then maybe turn this into a more interactive session. I think that will really help me, because at the end of the day, everybody's energy is down. I think if we can turn into more interactive, that will be more fun and engaging. Where to start now? I was asked to share my life story, but I'm not sure exactly how sharing of my life story will make any sense to you, because of my life situation and also way I was raised in the monastery as a young boy. I normally share this with everywhere I go, that there are there's two type of people go to the monastery. One, really enlightened beings like His Holiness the Dalai Lama and great beings. But there's also another category most people don't know. People like me, very, very difficult person, very destructive in many ways. And we also actually get to go to the same monastery, so that is a privilege to us. I was maybe around 6 or 7 years old, and not knowing when I was born, so I really don't know exactly when and what age I went to monastery, but very young, from Tawang, Arunachal to the South India and the Mysore. That time it took more than 10 days, sometimes 15 days to get there. Hitchhiking and changing different trains and getting to the South India was around, sometimes 10 days, 15 days, depending on how you travel. It was a big decision from my grandparents to send me to the monastery in such a young age, and knowing that they will see me maybe after 3 years or maybe after 5 years. The rules in the monasteries are always been very strict, that if you are really good, behave well, then every 3 years they will let you go and meet your parents or your relatives. But otherwise they will keep you for sometimes 5 years, 6 years. So they knew that, and yet they had to decide to send their grandson to the monastery really far away. I wasn't excited. I wasn't really excited, but being in a border area, so I saw helicopter before trucks. I'm talking about that, years ago, because helicopter was at the borders that you will see always every day, almost every day. And my grandparents tricked me. So I say, if you agree with our decision to become a monk, then you will get a helicopter ride. So that was a very powerful present for me. I said right away, okay, in order to get that helicopter ride, so I will become a monk. And I listened to them, and they sent me to South India. But as I said, it is not that I was very smart and very kind, very amazing person, talented. I was sent for a totally different reason. And at that time especially, the monasteries were also like, I would say, if it's not inappropriate, it's like a little mental hospital for a person like me. I'm honestly saying this. I was very disturbed kids as a young boy. And that was the reason. And one thing they gave me, they assigned me one really big task to finding a human in me was their assignment to me, the finding human in me, because I was a very destructive boy. And when I left my village, just, whole villagers, they celebrate because I left my village. I was little like a terrorist in my own village. At this age, even today I'm talking about, I always hesitate to visit my village. Because, every time when I get there, people will gather and they will start telling their stories. Do you remember you broke my windows? Do you remember you actually hit my pig and cow and goat and everything? You started. Still embarrassing. A lot of this story is still there, fresh in their mind. So normally I try to go in the evening time at night and just go and meet my mom and relatives, and then you just leave my village. So I have still this discomfort in me that how much trouble that I created in my village when I was a young boy. So the finding human in me was a task my grandparents assigned to me. Absolutely, I didn't have any idea what they are talking about. But this is exactly they told me, that we are sending you so far away, and we are sending you for so far away, and we don't know when we're going to see you. But the only reason that we are sending you there and making this big decision is we hope that you could find human in you. It took us so many years to even understand what that really means, and I'm still working on that. Honestly, I'm still working on that. It is a process every day, being human, being able to human, talk like a human, think like a human, and be like a human is a process every day, is a practice every day. So my journey to monastery was not about becoming something, but it was unbecoming everything that was not me. It was not about becoming monk or becoming a teacher or becoming guru or enlightened beings. It was unbecoming everything that was not me. And interesting today, since now we have a school that, the approach is very different. Today, from the very young age, parents, teachers would ask to the young kids, what do you want to become? What do you want to become, and what do you want to do? Raising in the monastery, that question did not exist, and still that kind of question does not exist in our monastery. It's always about unbecoming. It's not about becoming something unbecoming. And I think it is important actually to ask this question to our own children and even to ourselves, unbecoming. The unbecoming process begins with shedding and unlearning things in a life. The process begins with a shedding. And as a young boy, we learn so many things. Behaviors we learn. Things we say we learn. How we think we learn from our society, our family, friends, and a culture. And often when we grow up, so many things we learn are actually not so healthy. But education in our society or an education in a workplace, people always measure you that every day how much you are adding up and how much you are actually, learning new things. Because nobody measures your progress in terms of how many things you are able to shed every day. The approach in the monastery, the way they measure about becoming better person, going closer to the, nirvana, is actually measured from how much you are able to shed. Shedding in terms of shedding your guilt, shedding your shame, shedding regrets, hurts, and unlearning destructive behaviors, unlearning the harmful behaviors, and rewriting the new stories of your own life, who really you are. And that's why the shedding becomes so important. It was a very important process. And these are the practices that we do every day and we do teach. We talk about, able to shed that. Needed to shed constantly. And unlearn those behaviors, those destructive behaviors, harmful, And maybe when we think about that, when we think in terms of shedding and unlearning, maybe we don't need to learn any more skills about being a good person, about finding a meaning in a life. If we can able to shed and unlearn the meaning and the purpose and whatever we are seeking in our life, maybe appears naturally. It just exists there inside within us. We just don't need to find a new skill or new course or a meditation or whatever, but maybe if we can focus on the things which are not really healthy, if we can shed that every day, maybe the true self, the purpose, meaning appears by itself. So this is the first thing they taught me. The second thing is about the pain is a resource. As I said, I become a monk for totally different reason. Totally different reason. And I was the pain, suffering, hurt, regrets, everything that I had in my life was my weakness. I always looked this as a really bad thing. But my mentors, my gurus taught me this is the most actually valuable resource you have. And another different way of looking at the life. Pain is a real resource. And this is not just a philosophy, but this is very practical. And this is a practice you can think. Because a pain has two distinct potentials. It will serve you or it will break you. Your pain, your suffering will serve you or it will break you. It is totally depends upon how we decode the message of pain, the message of suffering. If we can decode the message of that pain and suffering with open heart and a mindfulness, we will see there is so much more in the pain than just pain itself. We will learn the pain we will learn the solution to that pain does not exist outside of that pain, but solution of pain actually exists within that pain. So able to see, understand the essence, the message the pain is trying to give us, we could turn that into usable resources, usable nutrients for our mental growth as a person. So this was another thing. As a young boy, they train you, they teach you in the monastery. The third one, maybe now I don't remember, it's the end of the day, how many, is a number all screwed up, okay? Don't worry. Then I say, then last one, they would ask you, as I said, how can you contribute to the society? How can you contribute? And I think this is where that we started now searching or seeking for the purpose of life. It is not that what you want to become and what you want to do. The question is here, how can you contribute back to the society? Is a crucial question. It's a reflective question. It is not factual question. If it's what you want to do, what you want to become, is you have option, like a kaun banega crorepati. You don't have to think. You choose one. It's available. But when you ask to yourself, how do I want to contribute? It's not factual. It's now reflective. It's not about becoming something who you are not, but it's about how I want to serve my society, my community, my company, my team. So here the last question actually begins. This is a first step, to find the real purpose and meaning of your life. Did I talk too long? Can we turn this into question? Q&A? I have a habit of talking, so let's.
Not at all. I think it was engrossing. We were hearing from you. So Genla, could you tell us a little bit about your monastery, your organization? We would be happy to know a little bit about the organization, how you started it, and what made you start that.
Wow. This is the thing, I think, thank you. So, for me, in many ways, it was, you see, in any person who are struggling in a life, and I don't mean that I'm now liberated. I'm still working on that, okay? I'm still working on it. I think, when we think in terms of how do I want to contribute back, as I said, this is maybe the first step to find a meaning in our life. Actually, it shifts your entire energy. If you are depressed, you could actually, and sad, actually it redirects your energy for something more meaningful, something more bigger than that you think of. So this is a question my gurus, my mentors keep pressing on me while I was even struggle to survive. When I say I had a hard time, people ask, okay, everybody has a hard time. Yes, it's right. Everybody goes through it. Everybody has a story. But my story is, I said, I don't want to go to the details because of sometimes too painful to revisit some of my experience. And if I summarize until, I'm a person who tried to kill myself 3 times. All 3 attempts was unsuccessful, very unfortunately. Somebody else was able to save me. So the level of depression and unhappiness and the, giving up everything that I reach in my life at 3 times, very seriously. There were some times I just felt, yeah, then not serious, but 3 times when I was ready to end my life. It is a very empowering I know many of you are here parents. If you have a very naughty children, you think the children is very naughty and out of control, and give them actually responsibility that they cannot even think that they could do it. And they do have that energy, and they do have that energy to do that. And redirecting that energy to something more bigger. And that gives them so much, joy and happiness. So that was one thing they keep pressing me, my gurus. Okay, how do you want to help now other people? How do you want to give back to the society, to the monastery? And that was something. It really sort of inspired me, I should say. And now, starting Jamse Ghasal Children's Community, the Garden of Love and Compassion, we can unlearn our destructive behaviors. We can unlearn our harmful thoughts, way we think. We can unlearn things, the negative things we say. The one thing we cannot do is we cannot undo life that we had. We cannot undo the so many things that we did in the past. But there's still one, maybe the better way of actually doing things. Because for me, doing something for the children, so many children like me, is a process of healing. I cannot undo my childhood, but I can prevent the many children's life who are going through same challenges. And I can relive my childhood through their life, and I can dream and hope through them. And that is a wonderful thing. I don't really need to undo my life. I really don't need to undo my childhood. And I could definitely feel their laugh is my laugh. I could feel their dream is my dream. And now I really feel that I'm living right now 125 plus childhood life. And around 20 of them are in colleges. I've never been to colleges. But when I see them, reason I stay in a center Delhi, because 4 or 5 kids are in a Delhi, so I meet them, I listen to them, how they're enjoying what they're doing. It's so beautiful to actually relive your life through their dreams and hope. Am I answering to your questions?
Absolutely.
Or somewhere? Yeah,
you
it's
are, and
evening.
I think it's so inspiring. Today, speaking with you, Genla, it makes you think two powerful things that you said is the process of unbecoming. We all want to become something. The entire thing that you said about unbecoming is something that's really touched the chord. And also how pain can be powerful. We always want to run away from pain. So those two concepts definitely leave me and many of us sitting in this room with a lot of thoughts. And the fact that you've been speaking about your childhood, you've been speaking about trauma, and amidst all of this, the power to think beyond and do something is something which is inspirational and is definitely motivating. And it's great to see. So how many kids do you have in your monastery?
In my monastery, in my community.
In your community?
Yeah. Okay, 126 around.
126 kids.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Yeah.
And I read in your article that they all refer to you as their father, as their guru. And they look up to you in so many ways.
Yeah. It's a very, I love people. It's a beautiful thing to be with the children. And I think a joy that you get and a true contentment in a life. And these are my experience that I can't think of anything more than what I have right now. And such a contentment is a truly a gift.
Lovely. So Genla, since the time, we had shared that, you're coming here to kind of speak with us, we've been flooded with a lot of questions from the team. Varied topics, varied diverse questions. So why not hear from the audience itself, their questions to you, and we would love to hear your perspectives around that.
Gigi, please.
So anyone from the audience would like to ask questions? Okay.
Yes, Sanjeev.
Good afternoon, sir. So firstly, it's an honor to have a conversation with you. And also kudos to the team. Generally, we have workshops to make good professionals. I think this is the first time we are attending a workshop to improve as a person and to become a good human. I think if you become a good human, I think you are bound to be a good professional. So first of all, kudos to the team for arranging such a conversation. So firstly, so my question would be, generally we have in our mind, we have in our values that honesty is a very good thing and truth is God. But on the contrary side, in some of our books like Gita and Mahabharata, generally it is said that if a lie can help someone, so that is not that bad. Generally, there was an incident in Mahabharata also that when Dronacharya was killing everyone. So Krishna gave that idea to Yudhishthira that go and say that Ashwasthama mara gaya. So Yudhishthira being a custodian of truth and dharma, he said that. So generally in our lives also, in our profession also, we find lot of situations like these. So which way to go? So whether to put the emphasis on truth, honesty, or what is good for that moment, for the person who is involved in that. So what will be your take on that?
Well, that's a deep question, sir. I just be honest with you. I don't know. I definitely I feel very incapable of now the commenting on Bhagavad Gita. But why I think the challenge we are facing today as a society is we have a different challenge. It's not that, I'm thinking at that time, the very, very lucky and glorious time. So most people don't lie. And sometimes when most people don't lie, and lying becomes sometimes virtue. But the problem of today is also everybody lies. I think if everybody lies, I think that now somebody has to be very honest. And I think that is what I feel. If you hang out with the very enlightened beings, and that's the, one time I hope the world was like that. There were so much enlightened beings hanging out in a society. Almost everybody was enlightened being. But now in our society, I think the biggest challenge is not about, I don't feel, the good question. Honestly, I don't know how to answer that. I think it could be really important for a person to really understand the whole picture and understand both the pros and cons of actually doing that. Sorry, sir, I don't know how to really respond to that question.
I think that is also an answer. I think.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
So, sir, to follow up with what Dr. Sandeep asked, while lying and the other part of it, but I have a question for you that, we always say that there is a power of karma, right? Can you undo karma?
You see, karma is not fixed. Karma comes with opportunity and creativity. Every situation we have a right to actually act with the mindfulness and an open heart. And that's what I say. The karma comes with the two aspect of creativity, and that's you could actually create to that things if we could see things clearly and do that. I think I don't necessarily look at this as something fixed and then you have nothing to do, but I think it's karma is a freedom to create new things. Karma is a freedom and opportunity to change things. Karma is a freedom and opportunity to rewrite your stories. Am I making sense?
It's deep, yes, for sure.
Because karma is the only thing that we own. You have a choice how to act and how to react, and what to act and what to react. But you do not have the choice of consequence once you act and once you react. So I look the karma as an opportunity for the creative people. Every opportunity, everything you do, you know what you think right now we're sitting here, what you're saying and what you are doing, every moment is an opportunity to be creative. I think if we are creative, we could really make our life beautiful, meaningful, and productive. And that is the only opportunity we have. But if we don't take that karma seriously, and if we think, oh, you know, I'm going to do it because I can do it, then the problem is later you don't have a choice and freedom of not facing the consequence of your karma. So the mindfulness is very important, I think.
Lovely. Very nice, very insightful. Nobody has said karma is creativity, right? This is for the first time, at least I've heard it, that karma is creativity and we have the rights to create and paint our own karma.
Yeah, I would like to add something to this. I try to take my entire team to a retreat in different places every year. My first time I took them to Ajmer. You know, there is a Brahma, yeah? Am I right? Temple.
Yes.
Only one, oh, Pushkar, yeah. So sorry, we said in Ajmer, yeah, Pushkar. And people didn't know my hidden agenda. So I took them there, and we were around 30 plus people there for almost 7 days. And my retreat started with, now imagine that we all are God. And we have all means and a power to create the life you wish, and power and means to create the world you wish. And that was very powerful to me, you know. And we all went to the temple, and now think like a Brahma. So that was my point, was everything that you are seeing, your experience is your own creation. So you have a power to create, but you do not have a power to not face the things you created for yourself and others.
I think that's lovely, very nice. That's a very, very nice and engaging thought and a lovely thing to ponder. At least I'll think about it today very deeply. Any other questions from the audience? Yes.
Good evening. Normally in our lives, we put the materialistic life in a bad light and the spiritual life in a good light. That's the way, that's the tendency generally. We say if you are a materialistic person, you're bad. If you're spiritually doing something, you're good. That's the general way of creating a distinguishment between this side of the world and that side. My question to you is, where is the balance between these two?
Wow, sir. I think you guys were trained before I came to here, I think. And all this us were asking tough questions. You're sitting in the front row. It was something you had some serious discussion about, giving me a hard time. I can sense that. I can sense that. I was not expecting. I'm not saying, normally end of the day I was thinking everybody, okay, bolo, takla, jaldi bolo, ghar jana hai. That's what I was expecting. But this is like meeting in the morning 9 after, big coffee. So next time if I come, next time I have to be a little more prepared to this. Wow. You know, there's a no balance. There's a no balance. What I see, let's make it easy, a money and a spiritual. They both are energy. The spiritual practice can be also dangerous if you don't know how to build, what kind of relationship you are building with that spiritual practice. Some of the egoist persons, the biggest ego, sometimes are the most spiritual people have it. They both are energy. Money is not bad, but the real relationship to money defines whether money is bad or not. It's an energy. And they both are important. And you are in a corporate sector, you know, and I work in a social sector. Money is important. And I need money. If you want to throw it me. I'll give you my bank account. If you need to create a balance, just throw it to me. I'll handle that. I'll not complain about the spiritual and money. So it is very important to have that your relationship with the money, what kind of relationship you have with the money and material world. Very important. Not really a balance. Where you see the money and where you use the money is the energy. Same thing with the spiritual. You know, we had last few years so many troubled spiritual person going to the jail. Again, it's not the problem is not the spiritual. The problem is people actually, the relationship between individual and the spiritualism. Same thing. Money is also same. No blame to the money.
That's lovely, very nice question. And I think the same question, Jubismita from, she's one of our dietitians in Bangalore. She had also asked the similar questions. So I would just repeat her question, and I hope, Jubismita, if you're hearing this session, your question has been answered. So she said, our hearts are filled with worldly desires, and our mind tends to conflict with our heart as it deviates multidirectionally. How can we balance this? So I think Genla has answered this question, but if you would like to add anything to it, that how to balance the heart and the mind, wherein the heart and the minds are always conflicting and moving in different directions.
Wow. 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 You know, if you wouldn't tell me before I came here, this is a healthcare sector, I would think you are some kind of a sung here. You know, and I think you have a guru every day, and you just did not expect this from the corporate people to. Oh, you guys are really evolved now, and things are changing. Maybe this is my ignorance. Of course, things are changing. Wow, this is something. How to balance heart and mind?
Yeah.
How to balance heart and mind? I don't know. If you can give maybe a specific situation where you're talking about heart and mind, and maybe I could talk. But let me share something about that. I think I talk about often harmonizing this energy of heart, mind, and body, rather than a balancing. I think the problem is a non-alignment of these three most powerful tool or three most powerful energy. You humans have this, you know. We give wow, the morning we get up, you know, we see, wow, this phone, look at this technology, look at this robot, wow, this energy, this technology, that technology. But in fact, if you reflect a little bit on us, the most amazing tools is the humans, I think. I think so far the biggest human creation is us. Do you believe that?
Sure.
When I was a monk, See, this is now maybe you're actually recording. Maybe my monk's friend will kill me. Monks have a weird jokes. We do sometimes a quiz competition. So one older monk asked us a question. He said, tell me what it is, the most sophisticated thing and easiest way to make without any training and experience. We were all like figuring out what. Nobody answered. Then he said, human. We don't need experience. Do we go actually to get a training how to make a baby? Yeah. Maybe the less experienced people can make more baby. Yeah. And inexperience, maybe what we need to create the most amazing thing on this world, you don't need any knowledge or experience. Everybody can make a human. And he is right. Look at us. It's amazing. It's an amazing thing. But this is the biggest human creation, and the human mistake is also underestimating who we are. This is a dilemma. We always underestimate. So the education philosophy or approach at Jamse Gasal in our communities, we talk about three essentials: the educating heart, mind, and body. Educating heart is generating compassion to nurture. Educating mind is cultivating wisdom to guide. Educating body is learning skill to serve. Wisdom to guide, compassion to nurture, and body to serve. Now the harmonizing and aligning this three, the problem I think what ma'am you are asking is often we are very unaligned. Is a word unaligned? We are not aligned these three things. The mind is thinking something else, yeah? The heart is saying, I need to get up and exercise this morning. The mind is saying, no, I need to sleep 1 more hours. And the body is saying, yeah, I agree, I need to sleep. So always, everything we want to do, good things, we are not able to align this three powerful energy. When we are not able to align this, and it has an effect on our mental and physical health, aligning that. Everything you do, the problem of I also talk about the performance. Of course, as a corporate, I don't know in your company how does it, performance based, everything. People want to see how productive and how your performance are. I think it is not more about learning the technical skills, but actually it is managing and understanding this three energy to align together. For example, I talk about cleaning. As a country, our country is very dirty, we all know. Very dirty. Think about Japan. Very clean. You know what Japanese learn from us? Cleaning, actually they learn from us. I'm not going to quote where the text is coming from. Now I'll talk about this, the mind and heart is. Can we clean from heart? Of course we can clean from heart. Can we clean from mind? Of course we can clean from heart. And can we clean from body? Of course we do. There's always time. If you do the pocha or if you broom. When you go to the Zen monastery and a Zen temple, the cleaning becomes very fashionable and graceful. And you want to actually broom and sweep the way the Zen monks do. It's almost feels like, wow, look at that. Is that some kind of a dance? And you could see the smile on your face. That is the way they clean. And when we look at an airport and our train station, you don't see that grace. You will see very unhappy cleaner. And they will yell at you. It happens so many times to me. Because often I get very distracted when I'm come to city, these big stores, I look. And so sad there. They are not like, I don't see any. They're like, now the both person doing a same job, but how come the one person has this grace, this joy, this happiness, and other person is frustrated? Again, can we align this? One needs to align. If you are doing one thing And do that with heart, mind, and body. Involve everything. Otherwise, do not do that. So that is there's a cognitive component when you do for cleaning I'm talking about. Is a part of meditation. The cleaning is a part of first meditation that we talk in Buddhism. Cognitive part of the understanding the value of cleanliness. How important it is to have my space clean, or my office clean, or my neighborhood clean. That's a cognitive component. There's an emotional component. The heart. It is that you care about cleanliness and you care about others' desire to be this place clean. And you care about their well-being and their health. There's an emotional component from the heart. And there's a physical behavior component. Is now putting both cognitive and emotional component together, and then doing physically, as I say, the skill to serve is a complete, the mindful cleaning. Then you will always get 100 out of 100. It's not the technical skill they are lacking if you're not able to perform well. It is that you need to go inside and make sure that all your three energies are aligned. Even you make a coffee with heart, mind, and body. Then you will see then you will see less and less. You don't need to, this side or that side. Otherwise, don't do it. So the multitasking is a horrible thing. Then you will always actually be in that conflict. Should I? Shouldn't I? Should I? Which is more important? Everything is important if you do with heart, mind, and body. Nothing is important if you're doing with heart and not doing with the mind and body, or you're doing with something else. Then you know it's not important. That's why you're not investing yourself fully into that task. Then why would you do it? It will only give you frustration. Only give you frustration. It will never give you a joy. That's why when we clean from mind, when we clean from some different reason, and when we align all these three energy, impossible things, we can make it possible. If these are not aligned, even most easiest thing becomes most difficult task. Am I making sense? Yeah.
Thank you so much. I think, Genla, currently my house help is gone. I am all alone to manage it, and in the morning I was in excruciating pain doing everything at home. Today I know what to do. Include all the three, mind, body and soul into it. I think probably I'll be benefited. Coming to the next question, I have a question from the live chat. Ramachandran Kannan has this question for you. Kindly teach us how to tackle unwanted impulse of thought or behavior arising constantly in the mind, though we are aware that it's a waste of time.
Wow, can you read that question again?
Sure. So it's like basically how we can tackle unwanted impulsive behavior or thoughts that keep coming in your mind. We are aware that these are like thoughts which are not so important, and it's a waste of time to think like that, but we're still having those thoughts. Is there any technique to control those thoughts?
Wow. See, these are another behavioral issue. When I say behavior, I'm not talking only about the physical behavior. There's a mental behavior also. If your behavior repeats few times and that becomes routine, and then that routine turns into a habit, and you're in a bad situation now. I'll say it again. If your behavior of your even the thinking, what you're thinking, what you are saying, what you are doing, is repeating it maybe 7 times, 8 times or more, then that is becoming the routine of your thinking, your thoughts. And that routine, behavior can become a routine, and routine turns into a habit. When it becomes the habit, and now only way to change the habit is only through habit. There's no other technique to change that. There's no any other ways to change that. So one of the meditation technique that we talk about, I think, is a broad. I'm just going to share this, okay? And please, ma'am, stop me if I am, I don't have a shortcut answer to this, because this is something everybody struggles. So I explained the first part. Now there is a 3 stage that we talk about. First is the feeding stage. Just think about a physical body, and we have so many doctors here. What you feed is going to matter so much in how you're going to feel today. What kind of food, physical I'm thinking, what kind of food you're feeding is going to have an impact on your physical health and your mental health today. Same thing we have to think about, what kind of thought that you are feeding. If you feed one time negative things or unwanted thing or gossip, maybe not a big deal. But if that is happening more and constantly, and that is a problem, then there's no shortcut to this. The feeding stage is so important that you be mindful of what you're feeding. And you constantly have to be mindful, aware of what you're feeding. If you do not have that awareness as the first stage, what you're thinking, able to actually pay attention, what you're thinking, what you're saying, what you're doing, and then it becomes difficult in the later. But we know that we don't actually succeed all the time. And most of the time we fail. That is fine. What you're feeding matters. But at the first stage, it is so important. I think what, sir, you asked this question is you are aware of, and that is actually already you are in a second stage. You are aware of that there are thoughts coming into my mind, and those are not really healthy. Those are the harmful thoughts. Your awareness is there. It means you're already actually in the meditative process to deal with this. The awareness is very important. Feeding, I should just, now the second stage when we go is what we are talking about. Now the second stage is what? Oh my goodness. Second stage is a filter stage. Filter and convert stage. So these are, I'm actually using the medical term. I simplified a little bit, or the transformation, filter and transformation. And that is another thing is we are talking about how we can filter. We need to have a strong mental filtration system. And most of us do not have a filter here and filter here too. We are very open-minded people, open-hearted people when we don't need to be. Yeah? We just welcome everything. That's why, we become sometimes the trash can of our family, our friends, our colleagues, and society. Just everybody want to dump their negativity on you because you're so open. You don't filter. You just welcome everything. The feeding stage, filtering and converting stage, this is 2 steps right now I'm talking about. The feeding matters because this is what you feed is going to define how you're going to feel today. And you need to be aware that every time, once it's become habit, is you need to now put deliberate, conscious effort to be aware of. Because the neuroscientists, they talk about our brain loves to take a break, is a job of brain. When we do not think deliberately, consciously, every behavior becomes automatic. And when it becomes automatic, it becomes what you call the habit. And when we put conscious, deliberate thinking, then actually we are rewiring. We are changing the way we think. This is a science talking about. So feeding is very important. I'll share one story about Native American. Maybe you already heard this. So there was a grandpa and grandson. They are walking. And the grandpa was telling a story to his grandson. I said, listen, grandson, in every human being, there is two wolves fighting inside us. And the one wolf is kind, generous, and compassionate, and all good quality. The another wolf is mean, hateful, unforgiving, ungrateful. And they both fight inside us all the time. And the grandson asked to Grandpa, Grandpa, who wins the battle? Whoever you choose to feed, that wolf wins the battle of life. So who is feeding? So we need to be very careful in every day what you are feeding, to whom you are feeding, and to whom you want to start. I think you have to be very careful in what we're feeding. At that level of mindfulness required, as a such thought is basically occurring again and again. Filtration that we talk about, so important. To have that level of filtration. The convert thing is important. It is not that we cannot convert. I talk about pain as a resources. We can always convert others' negativity into the usable resources or nutrients or the nourishment for our own growth. It doesn't matter what they say and what they do us. If we are mindful enough, we could use that for our own growth. Do you believe that? We can use that for our growth. I will give you the one example. It's a story. My first earliest, visit in the United States, I was invited by a family. At that time, I was monk and wearing robes. They got very excited. And the family had one boy, around 7 or 8 years old. I don't remember exactly. And when they invited me, the dad came and picked me up, and he was very nervous. And he did actually say to me, Lobsang, this is the first time my family is invited monk, so we are a little bit nervous. We don't know how to, welcome you and how to treat you. So I said, don't worry, I'm easygoing, blah, blah, blah. They were nervous. And then we got there, and the mom was, she cooked wonderful food, wonderful but delicious food. And then we all sat, and long story short, we started, okay. They said, can you say a prayer? I did say some prayer, and then we started eating. And suddenly their son said, Mom, I don't want food. I don't want dinner. And she said, no, eat a little bit. No, I don't want. Now this, the real story starts from here. And she said, and then his response was, I don't like it. Then Mom said, how do you know? Take a bite and then tell me you don't like it. I said, I don't like it. I hate it. Every time the son is saying something very negative, very harmful, the mom is actually responding that with the love and compassion and care. It's totally different in one situation. So finally, what did was son got really mad and he pushed plate towards me. And that whole food actually, I got here in my robe. And both parents turned into pink. And at that time, I was very interested. At that time, what I was doing is I was staying with the family to learn how to raise the children, because before I start the community. So I stayed with the parents who have a teenager, and I stayed with the parents who have a 3 years or 4 years. So I am doing now my own research. Okay, now I want to see how she responds to this. Okay, I want to see how he. So I was into that learning stage, so it really didn't bother me. And finally, no matter what he said, she actually took him and went behind and sat on a couch. And finally, she actually able to convince him. And he came back and he ate the food and he thanked his mom. So this is a very small example of we have a capacity and potential to actually convert any energy, regardless of what other people say. We have a capacity. And it is a choice that we do not want to use that energy for our growth, our own growth. Because we do not want to actually face the difficulties. Dislike and like, we just make every decision based on our dislike and like and dislike. Discomfort. We don't know sometimes really what difficult and pain is because we never get there. Every decisions we base on, oh, I don't like it. Oh, I like it. That's what I do it. So in order to really understand real pain, in order to really understand what difficult is in a life, we have to go beyond like and dislike. We have to go beyond comfort and discomfort. You cannot become strong if you can go beyond that. So I think I saw that mom has gone beyond what she liked. Of course, as a mom, she would not like her son behaving in that way in the front of the guest. But she was able to go beyond what are her likes and dislikes and able to actually convert his energy into something usable. And because of that high energy, she was not only able to remain herself at peace, but able to convince her son and actually make a peace in that conflict situation. Now I said too much, yeah? This is too much.
Not at all. I think that was very nice. Dr. Disha, you have a question.
Law of attraction. Okay, I'm sorry. There's a book which is called as Secrets, which talks about laws of attraction. So I just wanted to know, does law of attraction help you in achieving your goals? What is your view on that?
Now you have to explain me my ignorance. Law of
Attraction.
is
So, Genla, what it says in the book, in Secret, that what you attract, so what you think, you attract that. Like suppose I want to become somebody and I'm really thinking about it. So I have the capacity, the universe comes across and ensures that I get it. That's the attraction. So is there anything like the power of attraction?
There is a saying in Hindi, अगर आप किसी चीज़ को बहुत दिल से चाहते हो तो सारी कायनात उससे मिलाने पे तुली.
wow.
Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah, somewhat
How
that
you
way.
do?
So, do you really believe in this law of attraction? Is it really
Absolutely.
there?
Absolutely. I think absolutely. I think it may come in a different form, but if you are patient enough, I always call to, every situation when occurs in your life has a message, has actually the things you need, and our job is always how to decode that and get the essence of this message. But what happens, ma'am, normally in our regular lifestyle is we are so impatient. We are everything in a so rush to actually, make it right now, instant. And that is killing us. If we are patient enough, and I think whatever you ask, the universe creates the opportunity for you. And I believe that.
Okay. And what is the power of unconscious mind?
Power of unconscious.
Unconscious mind.
Wow, you guys are getting so deep. Next time, if you invite me in the morning. I don't know, ma'am, but I think every action has a reaction to that. Every action has a consequence to that. And I think everything that you put, it definitely has a power to create relevant consequence to that. Nothing goes waste. So it's nothing goes waste. You say, ye chota baat, koi chota baat nahi. But I think everything you say, do, it creates, kind of appropriate consequence, a result after that. Am I making sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, like you said,
Thank you.
what you feed,
Yeah,
what I
you
feed,
feed,
what I feed to my mind.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, so we have a question from Sudeep.
Maybe easy one for you this time.
No.
So, in your journey of becoming human, what you mentioned, what is the most difficult fight you fought within yourself?
Wow, see. I'm now suspicious about this group. Next time when I say yes, I need to really think. Wow. In my journey, I think biggest challenge always has been of the lack of compassion in every situation and lack of love. I do talk about this. The mental health issue of our current world is compassion deficit disorder. This is a word I made up. If you go on Google, you might find it. This is what I lack. I think when I have a problem with my own children, when I fail to even maybe to protect them is a very arrogant word. When I fail and they just do what they wish to do, and at that moment it is really hard to actually understand what's happening. But when I look back, as always I see the only thing that missing was my compassion, my love was not enough to accept that kid, accept that challenges, and be there for them 100%. And this is still is the biggest problem for me. Yeah. You know, somebody said to me, if you want to do the right things, good things, you don't need power. The love is just enough to make everything happen. And I think at that time, the love deficit disorder, compassion deficit disorder, makes me very egocentric. You know, I am the founder, I am the boss, and who you are. And that makes everything impossible. Yeah, the humility is a if we have a love, so we have a humility, yeah. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Genla.
I have one question.
Okay, so. Okay, we'll take that question from Hari, right?
So,
and then we'll come to you, Shaz.
I hope, okay. I'm grateful that I have gotten the opportunity to have listened to your speech, and it was really insightful. Thanks a lot for that. My question goes like this. So environment matters, right? So when you want to adopt your strategy that you actually mentioned, where you need to have clean body, clean mind, and you also should have clean heart. It's funny because Delhi is hugely polluted. It's immensely polluted. So what would be some practical strategy that you would propose for you to at least adopt such strategies, because this environment is still polluting and it is affecting from external. So what, according to you, would be a good direction to, I suppose, gather the thoughts or feed, filter?
To how to clean the pollution.
Exactly.
Oh. Maybe if I answer this really good, I will actually invite my Aam Aadmi Party. They're talking a lot on the environment. I think there is a fundamental problem in entire world, you know, which is I'm talking about. You see, I have been trying to really think a lot about how important it is to have a compassion. When we say compassion, people talk now about empathy. The empathy is, before compassion. It doesn't include a compassion. When we talk about a compassion, it includes the empathy. And if you remember, there is a term now in our society called the compassion fatigue. It's a bullshit. Excuse me my language. And there's no such thing as a compassion fatigue. Because a compassion is dangerous for greed. And greed and fear is the two ingredients need for most business company. If you cannot inject greed and fear in a people, it's going to be difficult for people to make the unnecessary surplus resources. So when we talk about a compassion, compassion borns from the understanding of interdependence and interconnectedness. And that interconnectedness or the interdependence can maintain if we understand how does it work, that understand that every action, everything we do actually has an impact on us and society and entire thing, Delhi and everything. And we see that we don't live independently. There's no independent action which does not have an impact on other person. Everything has an impact on personal level and in a bigger level, to understand that. What I'm trying to say is think about the nature where nature lives. When we talk about interdependence, it's not something that we are trying to invent something fancy. The interdependence is a part of natural occurrence of nature, where we exist. The problem with the humans are we are constantly intervening and interrupting that natural occurrence of our existence. And that's why we create so much a problem. Sometimes consciously and sometimes unintentionally. When we look at the nature, very simple, the way nature are designed to actually live in the law of interdependence is beautiful. Although the humans try so many destructive things, we do try to think, but nature is still flourishing. They don't have an expert. They don't have a UN. They gather each year and, hey, what should we do to clean this river? And what should we do to this, to stop the glacier melting, blah, 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 blah. They don't do. Have you ever seen the nature's getting into and looking for some great scholars and experts in Oxford and Harvard and Stanford? They don't do. No, we are creating so much problem on them, but they are still flourishing if you see that. They have resiliency. They have a courage. And quietly, still we are alive because of them, their generosity. That's the nature's design of interdependence. Is such, if you see, is a symbiotic relationship they maintain. Yeah? That comes from the generosity of the nature. Thinking about sun, thinking about the water, thinking about the air. What do we really contribute? Free. We don't have even time to give a free gali because we are so focused on achieving our goal. पहले ज़माना में तो गाली बहुत मिलता था गांव में आप बैठे आज गांव वाला के पास में भी समय नहीं है. They are so busy. If somebody is doing wrong there, they will just bypass that. मैंने कुछ नहीं देखा. Humans are so in that. So rain and sun, you see, I think about often the what you call the photosynthesis mechanism of how they're doing, They generate, they create, they take a sun and they transform that into energy for everybody. What is lacking there, fortunately, is self-centeredness is not there. Self-centered is not there. So, sir, your question to answer is a very complicated one. I sometimes wish, and I think the ma'am asked me, sometimes I ask God, I ask the universe, may all human become one day a tree. Just think about 24 hours, if we all become a tree, this problem of planets will be solved.
because we will not have greed and fear at that moment within a 24 hours. During a COVID time, you see how things change. The greed still exists, but limitation on our behavior actually changes. I saw the photos in the first time from Delhi. You can see some mountain, and I pray to the God, please, one day you turn all human beings to the tree. I will be Lobsang tree. And without greed and fear, without self-interest, the world will actually change. Then I pray, then imagine if all the other plants and trees, if they become human for 2 hours, we would be dead. Maybe it doesn't take 2 hours, yeah? They will become like us. Greed, fear, fighting, competition. I'm better than you, you are better than me. Or I gave this much, and what did you give? They will talk about that, yeah? They keep giving. Recently, I was visiting one place. There was a tree, and there was a sign. The tree says, please respect me, do not disturb me. I give oxygen to 4 people. I become so humble in the front of that tree. And I said, wow, even that message is from egoistic human being. But tree never wanted to actually have. I think if tree has hands, he will just take off and throw it, because they do not talk about what they give. That is a generosity. So I think we really need to work on these things. It is not compassion fatigue, I told, it is a greed fatigue. There is a greed fatigue. We are tired of greed, but we are exhausted of greed. If we cannot control this, and I don't think there is a technology is gonna come and clean up the mess that we create. I don't know, sir, I think. Is that, am I kind of at least I try to answer. Okay, I love it. It's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
So thank you so much, Janla. And while I am navigating this intellectual and spiritual sea on my own board of thoughts, a thought is coming to my mind that how do we let go of our biases? Because the reason why I ask this is, every one of us in this room have at least got more than 2 decades of experience, life-changing thoughts, or everything that's there. But there are cognitive biases which we are aware of, cognitive thoughts. There are some biases which are running into the subconscious realm, which would probably unknowingly hinder us from getting into somewhere where we can open up to new ideas, new thoughts, so that we can go into the next level of what we are moving into in terms of our dreams and achievement and the vision of what we are doing for, what we are here for. So how do we let go of those biases which are not cognitive but subconscious, and at the same time so that they don't come into the way of our creativity? So
can you give examples? I'm just trying to be more,
yeah. So
one example, if you could.
An example, for example, I will give you a simple example. So we all know it's very important to have like conversations with our customers, with our people whom we providing our services. At the same time, we have our own biases, thinking that we all actually probably know, because of our experiences over due course of time, what they are going to tell. So that would probably hinder from us learning what is the source of the problem or what we are trying to solve. So how do we let go of those cognitive biases to get into something much deeper, which enhances our understanding of the issues that we are trying to solve for our customers in a way so that we become more meaningful in our approach to providing the solution to them?
Thank you, sir. Thank you. I hope I understand, sir, your question. What I think is, number one, I think the importance of the people, you know, no matter who they are, and your team or your boss or even your own driver or a person who is your housemate or everything, I think if we could really see the importance of their existence in your life, valuing that is the first very important thing, I think. It's not again just a philosophy and just trying to be a nice person. So we do this exercise, we call it like, think about, we all have a personal goal and professional goal. And think one important factor, you cannot achieve this goal personal and the professional factor. Most people, important skills or important components or factors you need to have. Most people's answer would be, competent, passion, and skill, blah, 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 blah. And people would never say the human beings. And if we think about that, they able to think that human beings are first, no matter who they are. I think everybody is actually a contributor. Without human beings, we cannot achieve anything that we try to do in our daily life. Even our simplest, smallest joy, it comes from actually the other people. And that is a true. And able to see that and value that is becoming very important. When you see the value of who, no matter who they are, customers or history, but every human being that we are interacting are very important, that we value them, really high value we give them. I think this is one very important practice. The human first, human not the second, human first, even above a goal. And we all know if we take care and if we love the human, and human will love our work, and human will take care of our business. As a position that you are sitting, but you holding, I think important to touch their heart. If you can touch their heart, and they will give their hands to serve you. And you can only touch the people's heart if you see the importance of their existence, the value actually you have to them. That is a very important, I think. Second thing is when you see even the person who's driving me, even the person who is cleaning my office, moment when we see the importance of their existence, second step, what happens is the humility. The humbleness is by default will actually come in our life. And that is, I think, sir, where our real growth happens. Without humbleness, humility or humbleness is the biggest obstacle for our own personal and professional growth. Think about this. This is the biggest problem. I often think about that, If you think about the big apple tree, and we are all apple right now. We are on the top of that apple tree. Red, juicy, big, tasty. But when you question, did I really earn this? What did I do to become this apple? We didn't do much. It's a contribution of the apple tree and who grew the apple tree. We are just a potential. We are just a seed inside that big apple. There's no reason to be proud on the top of big apple tree. Look at me, I am the biggest apple. Here, do you see how juicy and colorful and red I am? Hoo-hoo. We don't have even a right. That is a privilege given by others. Now when we think about earning my own thing, growing me as an individual and building my own identity, as I said, the apple has to fall down from the top to the lowest. The seed has to drop out to the lowest level and go underneath the dark place to actually grow from there. If we cannot do this, we are not growing. We are just that red apple somebody else is going to actually eat and finish there. If you are working too hard to be on a top, and the birds will come and they will pick you every moment. And be proud there. It's painful to be up there if you don't think about the growth. And people try to maintain that position up there because it's a delusion. Wow, look at me, where I am today, and how do I look? Can you see me, how high I am? But when we think about transformative, transformation is self-transformation. It is dropping lowest and losing everything we don't earn, the color, the juice, the flash of apple, and just go down and become the tiny seed and then get deeper into the darkness. And from that darkness, be there by yourself and then grow. Then you can say, good love son. Now you are building, you are growing. So that humbleness, I think, is able to see everybody, whoever they are, and their existence, and seeing that their existence is for my growth. And that starting from that is, I think, maybe, I'm really distracted, sorry sir, I think. I just go everywhere. It doesn't matter, now I think, too late.
Thank you, sir. I think, again, very nice concept of putting human first. I think that kind of gists your answer. So Shaista has a question.
Thank you, Joyita. Thank you, first of all, for this lovely session, because I think the reason people are not running away the way you said or thinking of going back home is because it's very relatable for all of us, and we can actually feel what you're trying to say, share with us. So I have first a very direct question for you, which is, have you ever felt, scared of being judged? And then I have a follow-up question with that. In today's world, particularly being women, I probably think that there is a constant two extremes currently. One is constant, conform to, because of this fear of being judged, conform to certain standards, certain things. This is how I should look, this is how I should feel, this is how I should eat or behave or talk. And then there is another extreme of my way or highway. So what is your take on this? This is what I would like to. And thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Actually, I'm not being sarcastic. I love people judging me because I can only get them their attention. That's what I say. Nobody has the time even actually spend time with their spouse and their children. If somebody is giving me time and judge me, I love that actually, wow. Thanks for your attention. It's hard to get your attention, and you're talking about my look, my hairstyle. I'm lucky. Do you want to have a coffee with me and talk about me? I'm not being sarcastic, man, but this is how I see. The world is crazy. We are just rushing every day. And somebody able to take a time and talk about me is how privileged I am. We love to be, actually, I love to be on a headline. I don't get that opportunity. I'm not Shah Rukh Khan or Deepika. So if, sometimes people see me talk about, look at how that guy is, his hairstyle, look at where he walks. I said, thank you. Thank you. That's what I think. When we change way we look at things, way we hear things, things change by itself. We don't need to try to change other people and way people say. You just need to change the way we think and way we react to that. And that's the only control we have. enjoy yourself, love yourself, celebrate yourself. And we all know it's okay, people will say.
Very, very nice and engaging and a very different take on various things. So, Tarun, you have a question?
Yeah, I have a very simple question.
I know.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So it is more of a suggestion that I am looking for. For example, in the corporate world, our day starts in a very hectic way. We have back-to-back conversations. In some conversations, we're really happy with the results. Things are happening as per the plan. In some conversations, things are not going as per the, expectations that we have, certain goals we always chase for. But by the time you end your day, you're mentally very exhausted. You go back home, and then getting a good sound sleep takes for me, the period from, let's say I reach home maybe at 8 or something, it takes me roughly 2 hours to settle down. My head is sort of heavy after this mental exhaustion which happens throughout the day, because because every conversation, as you said, mind, body, heart. So each conversation I do, I'm totally deep inside it. So core objective is to achieve something out of every conversation that we do. So now I am looking for a suggestion. How do we calm down when we go home so that we can have a sound sleep, and when we wake up in the day, we are fully charged up? Right now, if I put an analogy, when I get up, my battery is like 50%. It is happening sometime. After COVID, I've seen this. So what are your suggestions or best practices? What should we do? How do we calm down and have a sound sleep and, fully back up next day?
Wow. So this is a simple question, sir. Let me continue this. The ma'am that you asked, I think this is too, I see, very closely related. I think people judging that, you work in a corporate sector. We work in a social sector, but humans are humans everywhere, and we all go through the same thing every day. One thing that I request everybody is if you love yourself, and there is a certain behavior you must change. If you think you are in this company to change other people and make other people look better, and that is your choice, you're judging about somebody else, and you're spending that time on other people to change their behavior. If that is what you get paid, then do it. But if you have even a tiny love towards yourself, and you should spend the time on actually correcting yourself and improving yourself and growing this. We have this meditation called From the Judgment to the Introspection. The analogy we use is a magnifying glass and a mirror. Some people like to hold magnifying glass whole day. Oh, here's a tiny problem. Oh my goodness, look at this problem. Oh my goodness, I can't believe. They love to exaggerate and make breaking news. Like Indian news, yeah, we have. Everything they can make it like the World War III is already started. If you turn on your TV. It is not healthy. See that how do you feel if you have to hold magnifying glass every day and look what other people are wearing, eating, talking, and doing, and their look, their appearance, their thing. This is, my goodness, additional responsibility you took, and I don't think your company will pay bonus for that. I don't know why we do this. Instead of throw that magnifying glasses, the judgment, and move to the introspection and actually pick up the mirror and see yourself. And spend even half an hour every day in the front of that mirror and see what things are not right about you, and spend time on correcting yourself. And I think that way you will get paid more eventually, and you will be promoted. Very practical. Are you here for your own growth or the person you dislike, their growth. Very important, I think. Now, sir, that is a culture that we need to create in every work. Now, sir, your question is a simple question is, morning, I say we have this wrong question, and we ask at the wrong time. Every day when we go to home and somebody, a loved one, oh, how was your day? This is a completely wrong question at the wrong time, useless, wasting time. I say, do not ask this question anymore if you love that person. Instead, ask one question, right question at the right time. Before you get out from your work, hold your loved one and give him or her a kiss and say, dear, how is your day going to be today? Give that is taking control over your life. It is saying, I will determine how my day is going to be today because I am a control of entire process. And I do not actually control is the end. What I do control is a process. What I say, what I think, and what I do here. So remind your loved ones, your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, give him a nice kiss and say, honey, how is your day going to be today? That is the right question at the right time. Determine with the determination. You decide how your day is going to be. You don't wait like, oh, I don't know what will happen today. God save me, and do puja. And then at the end of oh my goodness, we had a horrible day. That is a waste of time. So the first thing in this is, and I'm not joking, this is I do. And most of the time, actually, I'm successful. Sometimes I screw up completely. Then that also creates some time to reflect. How did I messed up today? And that is very important when day we start. Now, at the end of the day, we have a meditation called emptying mental trash can. Everything which is not natural, if you're bringing to your home, it doesn't matter how tiny it is going to be painful and it is going to bother you if it is not you. Anything. How do I explain this? No. Maybe this tissue paper. Yeah, this is so light. It doesn't have weight? No. Just hold this for 10 minutes like this. You're going to feel a pain. This is not natural. This is not you. You are taking something additional, unnecessary thing with you. And now you have to let go. Hold this for 10 minutes and tell me how you feel. Right now, nothing. And it will start, suddenly it will start getting heavier, pain. Only way to release from this is let it go. Drop and keep your hand in natural position. Let it go. Emptying mental trash can. So I'm not talking about, this is what I'm talking about. We teach our children a meditation. This is why I say is this, you see. When I was in the US, somebody gave me this old Mac as a gift. And one day it started acting so weird. It may sound like boo and become so hot and it started vibrating. So I didn't know what to do and I took to the Mac store and gave it to the guy and he checked and he said, okay, give me half an hour, come back. So I went in the mall and came back to them and he checked. Oh my goodness. He said, what is in your trash can? Can I delete this? I said, what do you mean trash can? He said, there is a trash can. You throw unwanted thing, yes. There's something really a big file, and that's why your computer is acting very weird, not normal. I need permission to actually empty this trash can. I said, I'll go. So he did this. And afterwards, my computer was not acting weird, not making weird sound. It's not getting hot. Just think about us. How much trash we bring home. Bring home. Of course, the pollution, the dust, the pollution, we go bathroom, we take a shower, hot shower, we rinse. Immediately we feel lighter. What we do for our mental health? We don't. We drink, call them, hey, let's come, have a nice pack. I have a single mold. But that doesn't cleanse. Hey, you want to go to bar? Have. I think we need to, very simple things. Emptying mental trash can is a meditation. So do not go immediately to the bed. So every night, you sit there, take a shower. Before you go to the bed, it doesn't matter how long you sit. Sit there and visualize. If you want to revisit from the day, find out, scan very quickly, is there anything is bothering me today? Is there anything is bothering me today and is in somewhere? And figure out that, recognize that. And any sensation you have, then start at breathing, exhaling, exhale, inhale. When you breathe out, simple thing is visualize that in any form that you want to. And sometimes people say visualize that in a dark smoke as an energy form. And when you breathe out, you believe that is out, coming out from your system. Discomfort, ache we are feeling, that visualize is coming from out. You take out. And breathe in, then you breathe in a light, in an energy form, and breathe in that joy, that comfort, that relaxation, whatever you wish. I'm making a short, long short. So this is how you do that. And see, more you practice, and it lights up. Do not go bed with that. Just take it out, breathe it out. And we know all the magic of warm shower, hot shower. Who could have thought about that? We know the magic of cleaning. When you're depressed, clean your room. You are like 70% better after cleaning your room. Yes, very, very, very important. Take shower, we know like 90% better after shower than before shower. And then do this breathing. Take it out, visualize, it's gone. And now I'm breathing peace. I'm breathing joy, the relaxation. And I am rejuvenated. And before you go to the bed is so important. This is the one. Another thing I want to add here is I talk about take yourself on a nice date. Do you have a date with yourself? So often in a school that I don't talk about meditation, I talk about me dating. It is very important, I think. And I'm just sharing you, every day I have 2 hours. Anybody that you connect to my community, after dinner, nobody can come and knock on my door. 2 hours every day I date with myself. Every day. And sometimes I should say every day, miss. Every day, 2 hours, I do me dating. So important. So important to take care of your well-being, your happiness. Because I have no option. So I need to live with this person. I better date with this person. Because the rest of the life I have to live with her. If I spend time dating with somebody else, that person maybe leave me. And I feel, oh, my time wasted. And actually dating with myself is so cheap, actually. And I just need a green tea. And I can just sit anywhere. I just need a blanket. It's so cold up there. Cheap date. And actually return, I get a lot of happiness. That's much, much better than orgasm. Getting this joy from yourself. Think about that. Date with yourself. Dress up for yourself. Say something nice about yourself. Talk nicely to yourself. Give compliment to yourself. So these are something we talk when you end of the day. Every day, if you cannot take 2 hours, but maybe start with the 10 minutes, start with the 5 minutes. What we do, we invite somebody, we take a shower, sometimes we put double soap because that person is so important to me. We go and change a shirt, I don't like it, you change a color, so much effort we put. Can we do this for ourselves? And then we say, wow, how beautiful, how handsome you are. Can you just say to yourself, wow, look at you, how beautiful you are, and how handsome you are. And you don't have to say, I will never leave you. And we have no choice. So that's wasting time. We have to be with love song. I have to be with the love song. Okay, I just need to learn to connect with this person, love this person, instead of hating this person. So make this thing, and before go to the bed. So no mobile phone, of course, same thing, no TV, no mobile, everything, of course. When I sit for 2 hours, everything, not even human beings, I want to be near me, because I'm dating with myself. Something, it helps to sleep. It increases the sleep quality. And it changes, empty. Way we cleanse, cleansing our physical body, but cleansing our mind, emptying that trash can. You see, in a kitchen like this, first day you put banana peel, it doesn't smell. Next day, you will see fruit flies starting to stink. But imagine we keep sometime the trash from 25 years ago. And we say, I don't know what's happening to me. You just need to empty the trash can. Why you are carrying that? Take it out, let it go. Just think about if you don't empty your kitchen trash can for 25 years, 10 years, 5 years, nobody can even come to your kitchen and sit there. And that's why it is hard sometimes for some of us. People don't want to sit with us. People don't want to even be with us because we are stinky. They can feel that energy. We are generating this stinkiness, this thing, because we are carrying so much of others' trash. And we don't do anything with, and we think, if I take a shower, put nice suit, nice clothes, and nice makeup, people cannot tell. Of course people can tell. Even your dogs can tell. Your cats can tell. You have a stinky thing inside you, and you need to empty that.
I think we'll take a last question. Tina wanted to ask a question.
So, thank you for the enlightenment, sir. We started this session knowing about you, and I think my last question would be, if not a monk, what would you have become?
Oh. Oh my goodness, I don't know. That's a good question, ma'am. I think it's the first time I heard, if I'm not a monk, what I would be. I think I want to end with this question now. Thank you though, I don't know, that's a good, thank you.
Lovely, I think, thank you Genla. It was very, very inspiring and very intriguing. A lot of thoughts and a lot of things that you said, not that we didn't know about it, we've heard about it in various perspectives, but the different perspective that you brought to each of the things that you said was really, really amazing. And I think to wrap it up, in the interest for all the audience, I think the power of unbecoming, pain is our power, karma is creativity, what we feed our mind, the role of filters, compassion deficit, that's a new term that we've got. Being human first, emptying the trash can, and my favorite bit is dating myself. I think I'll begin with getting into a date with myself. So it's been fantastic. It's been lovely hearing. And I have a packed house, so thank you for being a very, very good audience, very participative. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming here. But Genla, before I let you go, we've all asked you serious questions. Now we'll do one quick rapid fire round with you. We'll ask you.
Oh my goodness.
You just have 1 second to answer this question. Right? So I will ask you a few words. And you have to tell me what is the first word that comes to your mind when you hear this word. So I'll tell you a word. You have to tell me what is that first thing that comes to your mind when you hear this word.
I think after this, nothing will come in my mind now.
Okay, so love.
Compassion.
Hate.
My goodness.
Marriage.
Suffering.
Prayer.
Sorry?
Prayer.
Prayer. I don't know. This is, no, I don't know. That comes in my mind.
Wisdom.
Oh my goodness.
What is that one thing when you think of wisdom?
Wow,
what do you feel is wisdom? One word.
This is a game I'm playing first time. And after this, all this, I think forgiveness now.
Okay, ego.
Nothing comes in my mind.
Oh, lovely.
Sure.
So thank you so much. Thank you so much, and it's been an honor. It's been an honor to have you amongst us. It's been a great session, and something very different. And we've really, thank you for this. So can I invite Tarun to share a few words and close the session, please?
Thank you so much. So I would like to extend a word of thanks from entire HCL Healthcare family to you for the great insights. My question was something I was fighting with for a long time. I do meditation and all, but these tips that you've given, I think these will be really, really handy, and I will definitely reach out to you and let you know how these are changing my life. Entire team liked the session. Questions were really, really beautiful, and the way you articulated, we have learned a lot. Compassion, deficit syndrome, and being a human first, letting go things from an apple to a seed. So these are deep messages. So I was like lost in my thoughts while listening, so it was like a magic for me. So thank you very much for sharing your insights, your thoughts. It means a lot to us. A big round of applause for Ganla. We would like to hand over you a beautiful bouquet from the nature. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
And there is a small token of recognition from our side.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
For your organization.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
All
you
right.
all. We've arranged for an hike.
Shall we get a photograph?
Yes.
with-
So before we leave, I think let's all